Most rideshare trips are forgettable. You check the plate, you open the door, you sit in the back seat, watch the map move, and wait for the app to say you've arrived. It feels safe because it feels tracked. The driver has a name, the route is visible, the payment is already handled. But late at night, in a stranger's car, there's one uncomfortable truth people don't like thinking about. The app knows where you are, but it doesn't always know who is really there with you. These are 3 Uber horror stories. Names and details have been changed. Story 1. The driver who arrived twice. Mia ordered the ride at 12:43 a.m. She was outside a downtown bar with 2 friends, but she was the only one going home in that direction. Her apartment was about 20 minutes away. The app showed a black sedan. 4 minutes away. Driver name, Victor. License plate, ending in 629. Mia stood near the curb, arms folded, watching cars move slowly through the pickup lane. A black sedan pulled up almost exactly where the app said it would. The driver rolled down the passenger window. "Mia?" She stepped closer. The man smiled. "Uber for Mia?" That was enough for most people. But Mia had a rule her older sister had drilled into her. Never get in unless the plate matches. She looked down at the front plate. It ended in 381, not 629. Mia stepped back. The driver's smile faded a little. She said, "Sorry, wrong car." He said, "No, you're Mia. I'm your driver." She looked at the app again. The real car was still 2 minutes away. The man leaned slightly across the passenger seat. "Come on, it's cold." Mia shook her head. The car behind him honked. For a second, the man didn't move. Then he smiled again and said, "Fine, cancel then." He drove off. Mia watched the car disappear around the corner. Her friends were laughing about something behind her, but Mia didn't feel like laughing anymore. 2 minutes later, another black sedan pulled up. This one matched the plate. 629. The driver was a woman in her 40s. She lowered the window and said, "Can you confirm the name?" Mia said the driver's name first. "Victor?" The woman frowned. "No, my name is Vanessa." Mia stared at the app. The driver name still said Victor, but the car matched. The plate matched. The car model matched. Vanessa looked confused too. She said, "I just got this ride request a minute ago. It says pickup for Mia." Mia's friends had already started walking away. She was tired, cold, and wanted to go home, so she got in. For the first 5 minutes, everything was normal. Vanessa was polite. The route was right. The app showed them moving toward Mia's apartment. Then Mia got a notification. "Your driver has arrived." She looked down. The app had frozen. The little car icon was still sitting back outside the bar. Mia refreshed it. Nothing changed. She asked Vanessa if her app was working. Vanessa glanced at her phone mounted near the dashboard. "Mine says I'm on the ride." Mia looked out the window. They were on a quiet road now, away from the bars and crowds. Then her phone buzzed again. A message came through the rideshare app. From Victor. "I'm outside." Mia felt the back of her neck go cold. She typed, "I'm already in the car." The reply came back instantly. "No, you're not." Mia looked up at Vanessa. Vanessa hadn't seen it. Mia quietly locked her phone and stared out the window, trying not to panic. Then another message came in. "Tell her to pull over." Mia didn't move. Vanessa noticed her face in the rearview mirror. "You okay back there?" Mia said, "Can you not stop until we get to a busy place?" Vanessa's expression changed immediately. She didn't ask a bunch of questions. She just said, "Okay." Then Vanessa made a right turn that wasn't on the route. Mia's app still showed the fake driver sitting outside the bar. A few seconds later, headlights appeared behind them. Same black sedan, same shape. Mia leaned forward. "That's him." Vanessa looked in the rearview mirror and said, "Then we're not going to your apartment." She drove straight to a gas station with bright lights and people outside. The black sedan followed them into the lot. But when Vanessa pulled close to the entrance, the other car slowed, circled once, and left. Vanessa stayed with Mia until police arrived. The strange part came later. When Mia opened the app again, the ride history showed only one completed ride, Vanessa's. No record of Victor's messages. No second car. No canceled pickup. Nothing. Mia reported it anyway. But what scared her most was not the fake driver. It was that he knew her name. He knew she was alone. And somehow, for a few minutes, he was able to talk to her through the same app that was supposed to keep her safe. Story 2. The passenger who knew the way home. Jordan drove rideshare 3 nights a week. He had a normal day job, but the extra money helped. Most late-night passengers were predictable. Drunk couples, airport pickups, people leaving restaurants. The only rule Jordan had was simple: no cash rides, no off-app trips, no exceptions. At 1:17 a.m., he accepted a pickup outside a closed shopping center. Passenger name, Elliot. Destination, a residential address 14 minutes away. When Jordan arrived, the parking lot was almost empty. Only one man stood near the entrance of a closed pharmacy. Dark hoodie, backpack, phone in hand. Jordan slowed down and rolled the window down slightly. "Elliot?" The man nodded, but he didn't get in right away. He looked at Jordan through the glass for a long second. Then he said, "You're early." Jordan checked the app. No, it says pick up now. The man smiled like Jordan had missed a joke. Then he got in the back seat. For the first few minutes, Elliot said nothing. Jordan started the route and followed the app. The destination was a quiet neighborhood north of town. Then, halfway through the ride, Elliot leaned forward and said, "Don't take the left." Jordan looked at the GPS. The left turn was the fastest route. He said, "The app says left." Elliot said, "I know. Don't take it." Jordan hesitated. The man's voice wasn't angry. It was calm, almost bored. Jordan kept going straight. The GPS recalculated. A minute later, they passed the road he would have turned onto. There were flashing lights up ahead in the distance. Police cars, an accident. Jordan said, "Good call." Elliot didn't respond. A few minutes later, he did it again. Slow down before the next stop sign. Jordan looked in the mirror. Why? Elliot said, because the car on the right won't stop. Jordan's hands tightened on the wheel. At the next intersection, a white SUV rolled through the stop sign without braking. Jordan hit the brakes. The SUV passed right in front of them. Jordan sat there for a second, stunned. Elliot leaned back. See? Jordan tried to laugh it off. You know this neighborhood pretty well? Elliot said, I know your route. That answer didn't make sense. Jordan looked at the app. They were 8 minutes from the destination. Then Elliot said, You've been doing this for 3 months. Jordan didn't answer. You usually stop driving around 2. Jordan looked into the rearview mirror. Elliot was staring at him, not at the window, not at his phone, at him. Jordan said, Do I know you? Elliot smiled. No. Then he said Jordan's street name, not the passenger destination. Jordan's own street. Jordan felt his stomach drop. He had never told a passenger where he lived. His home address was not visible in the driver profile. Elliot said, You live near the park. Blue building, 2nd floor. Jordan immediately pulled into a lit convenience store parking lot. He ended the ride. He told Elliot to get out. Elliot didn't move. Jordan said it again, louder. Get out of my car! Elliot looked toward the store windows. Then he slowly opened the door. Before stepping out, he leaned forward between the seats and said, Cancel your last ride tonight. Jordan didn't understand. What? Elliot said, After me. Cancel it. Then he got out and walked behind the building. Jordan drove away fast. He was shaking so badly he had to pull over 2 blocks later. He considered going home, but he told himself the guy was just trying to mess with him. Maybe he had seen something in the car. Maybe Jordan had accidentally said too much during previous rides. Maybe it was all coincidence. Then the next request came in. Pickup. 4 minutes away. Destination, near Jordan's apartment. Passenger name, Elliot. Same name, same profile photo. Jordan stared at the screen until the timer almost ran out. Then he canceled. He drove home by a different route. That night, he parked 2 blocks away and walked to his apartment from the opposite direction. The next morning, Jordan checked his dashcam. The audio was clear. The pickup was clear. Elliot getting into the car was clear. But the backseat video had glitched during the entire ride. Static, black frame, audio only. He sent the footage to support. He never got a real answer. He stopped driving nights after that. Not because Elliot knew the roads, not because he predicted the accident, but because of the last ride request. The one Jordan never accepted. The one that was already taking him home. Story 3. The ride that wouldn't end. Samantha landed just after midnight. Her flight had been delayed 3 hours. By the time she got her bag, the airport was almost empty. She requested a ride to her hotel. Driver name, Arman. Silver SUV. 12 minutes away. Samantha waited outside under the pickup signs, surrounded by a few tired travelers. A silver SUV pulled up. The plate matched. The driver confirmed her name. Everything looked normal. She got in the back seat and put her suitcase beside her. The hotel was supposed to be 21 minutes away. For the first 10 minutes, Samantha barely looked up. She answered texts, checked the hotel confirmation, sent her sister a message. On my way. Then she noticed the route looked wrong. The app showed the car moving toward the hotel. But outside, the road signs didn't match. She had been to this city before. The airport road should have led toward downtown. Instead, they were heading into a darker industrial area. Samantha looked at the map again. The blue route line still looked normal, but the little car icon was frozen near the airport. It hadn't moved in several minutes. She asked the driver, "Is the app working for you?" Armin said, "Yes." He didn't look back. She said, "It looks frozen on my phone." He said, "That happens near the airport." His answer was too quick. Samantha sat up straighter. A minute later, her sister texted, "Why are you still at the airport?" Samantha's mouth went dry. The location she had shared with her sister was still showing her pickup point, not the road she was actually on. She quietly turned on her phone camera and pointed it toward the window. The driver noticed. His eyes moved to the mirror. "You don't need to record." Samantha said nothing. He took the next right. The road became narrower. Warehouse buildings on both sides. No cars. No people. Samantha said, "I need you to pull over. I'm going to cancel." The driver said, "Don't cancel." She opened the app anyway. The ride page wouldn't load. Then her phone lost signal. 1 bar. Then nothing. The driver slowed down near a closed loading dock. Samantha gripped her suitcase handle. Then her phone buzzed. Somehow, one message came through from her sister. "Call me now." Samantha tried. Failed. She tried again. Failed. The SUV stopped. The driver didn't put it in park. He just sat there staring forward. Then he said, "You were not supposed to share the trip." Samantha's entire body went cold. She reached for the door handle. Child lock. It didn't open. The driver finally turned around. Not fully. Just enough for her to see one side of his face in the dark. "Put the phone away." Instead, Samantha did the only thing she could think of. She hit the emergency button in the rideshare app. For a second, nothing happened. Then the screen changed. Emergency call. Connecting. The driver saw it and cursed under his breath. He put the SUV in drive, but instead of going deeper into the industrial area, he made a sharp turn back toward a main road. Within 2 minutes, Samantha's signal came back. Her sister called. This time it connected. Samantha said loudly, "I'm in a silver SUV. I'm not on the route. I'm sharing my location again." The driver said, "I'm taking you to the hotel." Samantha said, "No. You're taking me to the nearest open gas station." He didn't answer, but he did it. He pulled into a gas station with bright lights and people at the pumps. Samantha got out with her suitcase before the SUV fully stopped. The driver drove away immediately. Police met her there. The ride disappeared from her app, before she could screenshot the full route. Customer support later told her the trip was marked as canceled, but Samantha had not canceled it. The driver's account disappeared too. No profile, no receipt, no trip details. Only one thing stayed on her phone: the video she had started recording through the window. Most of it was dark, but in one frame, when the SUV passed under a streetlight, a road sign was visible. It was not on the route to her hotel. It was in the opposite direction. Samantha never learned where he was taking her, but she said the worst part was the sentence he used. "You were not supposed to share the trip," because that meant he knew what the safety feature was, and he had been counting on her not using it. Rideshare horror stories are scary because they start with convenience. You press a button, a car arrives. A stranger already knows your name and destination, and most of the time, nothing happens. But when something does feel wrong, trust that feeling. Check the plate, share the trip, sit where you can see the locks, and never be afraid to leave the ride early. Because the scariest part of a bad ride is not getting in. It's realizing the trip has changed, and you're the last person to know. That was the missing chapter. Comment which story was the worst: 1, 2, or 3.